The story begins as Dusty Boyd calls himself Hammer. His father gave him that name before his real one. His father trained him like a racehorse instead of raising him. He broke every junior tennis record in the country. He turned professional before he finished high school. Now he asks his 9-year-old students for questions. His coworker PJ praises the story instead. A child asks why he teaches 9-year-olds if he's great. Stung, Dusty starts his favorite story, Roddick 2000. He claims he was crushing the future champion. He says Roddick iced him with a bathroom break. He says he slipped, chasing him, and shattered his wrist. That injury supposedly destroyed a certain career. PJ insists Roddick greased the floor deliberately. The children refuse to follow that reasoning. His lesson is interrupted by a pickleball. He drops her ball straight into the garbage. She considers his one-shot wager. If he hits her coin, she is banned. Missing waives her membership fees for a year. He raises the stakes with his aging Buick. She sets the coin in a far corner. Dusty hits it on his first attempt. He photographs her for the band board. His father makes him read the office nameplate aloud. Chuck Boyd runs tennis operations at Mountain Crest. Dusty is scolded for his look and the ban. He says the club is heading somewhere bad. He orders his son to a board dinner tonight. Dusty must bring a date to prove he isn't hopeless. He admits he and Marissa are finished. He is told to apologize and get her back. Marissa enjoys watching him arrive at her door. He asks her to fake their relationship for one night. He reminds her that she cheated on him repeatedly. She agrees to do him the favor. At the dinner, he presents Marissa to his father. Chuck opens a speech about tennis and its beauty. He calls pickleball an epidemic sweeping the country. The club already gave those players its worst court. Now the pickleballers are demanding more courts. Chuck cannot delay the expansion vote much longer. He reveals a way to avoid the vote entirely. The club charter allows a duel with tennis rackets. Each side picks one champion to settle everything. The pickleballers will field Skip, a lapsed tennis player. Dusty volunteers immediately. His father refuses him in front of everyone. Dusty demands the board confirm he's the best player. Chuck says his son simply cannot be trusted. Dusty has nothing to show for the tour. Chuck tells him he is not a winner. He sets one condition: win the club tournament. Dusty accepts the deal. He enters the tournament determined to punish everybody. He crushes the club's older members without mercy. He wins the tournament. Then he leaps the net for applause. He catches his foot and lands on his wrist. On the ground, he loses the duel to Neil. His father repeats that he cannot be trusted. A doctor examines the wrist. Chuck had already told the doctor everything. Nothing is broken, only badly inflamed. The doctor suggests a sport that is gentler. That sport turns out to be pickleball. The doctor calls it the fastest road back. Dusty asks for painkillers instead. He is ordered to rest the wrist completely. He recommends a paid dating website as a substitute. The pharmacy cannot fill a prescription for pickleball. That night, Dusty opens the website in private. A pickle mixer appears on his screen instead. He signs up anyway without understanding it. Dusty arrives and is spotted immediately. He admits he is the registered player. He is not allowed to leave without playing. She assigns him a partner for the session. His partner is Candace, the woman he banned. She recognizes the Buick he had gambled. Dusty apologizes for banishing her. She tells him to repay her on court. Candace explains the no-volley zone called the kitchen. He says he gives lessons and never takes them. He learns that every serve must go underhand. Candace warns him to stop swinging so hard. His foot in the kitchen costs them the point. He is buried in their kitchen jokes. He keeps hammering shots into the net. He loses his temper over a line call. He insists he is far better than them. Gail wins the match with a soft dink. Dusty takes it as a personal insult. Candace explains the shot is simply named that. He denies freaking out while clearly freaking out. He announces he hates the game and leaves. Gail immediately offers him a rematch. Dusty accepts before reaching his car. Over tacos, he starts enjoying their company. Gail was once a serious lawyer. Her career ended when she punched a police officer. Candace took up countless hobbies after her divorce. One of them was buying a large snake. She tells him he could be a great pickleballer. He lists everything embarrassing about the sport. She says that is exactly why they would dominate. Dusty calls the game too goofy for him. She saves her number for when he changes his mind. Dusty drags PJ to a store far out of town. He pretends buying one would only be a prank. Then he admits he is taking it home. PJ spots Andy Roddick signing books nearby. Dusty wants to sneak out the back. PJ insists they confront him instead. He shouts across the store at Roddick. Roddick places him as Chuck's son. Roddick reads his junior instructor shirt aloud. PJ accuses him about the 2000 tournament. Roddick has no idea what they mean. PJ concludes only that Roddick is worse than described. Alone, Dusty rewatches the real broadcast from 2000. Commentators say his power is not translating. They call Roddick simply the better tennis player. They pity a boy coached by his own father. Dusty watches his younger self walk away. Back in the present, Dusty reaches match point. Candace teases that a Dink would have finished it. He admits wins have been rare lately. Her ex-husband has called her 11 times. He wants to bring his girlfriend to their annual event. Candace expected to win their divorce. Instead, he parades someone new while she stays single. She refuses to show her face there. Dusty asks why she left Mitch. She says he had no ambition and few friends. What she wanted was someone who showed up. Dusty and Candace face loud grunters. Candace decides they must outgrunt them. Dusty agrees to whatever it takes. The tactic rattles the other pair completely. Dusty admits he had a blast. He urges her to attend her ex's event. She calls it a honky-tonk charity night. He insults country music and she slaps him. She explains the insult is a genuine trigger. She loads a country playlist onto it. Skip, who leads the pickleball committee, presses him. Chuck complains instead about missing paper cups. Skip finally gets his vote date. The healed wrist makes no difference to Chuck. Chuck says Neil remains their man. His father wants the player who will win. Chuck dismisses Skip's effort with a cutting remark. Dusty leaves, mocked for almost saying something warm. Dusty is on his phone, not watching PJ. Later, Dusty secretly plays her country playlist. A song about wanting more time reaches him. He decides it is not much to ask. On Friday, the club gathers for the vote. He only wants 2 new pickleball courts. Court 16's southeast fence sits far too close. Its baseline corner is warped and cracked. A leaking fountain leaves a slippery puddle. Skip finishes with a homemade pickleball wrap. Chuck announces no vote will happen. He invokes the duel instead. His 2 weeks of preparation count for nothing. Chuck submits Neil in front of everybody. Dusty sits there as the meeting closes. Dusty tells Candace his father humiliated him again. He asks about late-night pickleball. She claims she is staying in tonight. She mentions a classic film on television. Then he calls her lonely and drives over. She asks his opinion on her outfit. One dented jar barely holds any cookies. She asks whether Dusty has any hobbies. Mostly, he loved the time with his father. Chuck put everything into him. He blew it. Candace tells him his father blew it too. She gives him her ex-husband's old cowboy hat. They settle in to watch the film. Candace corrects his guess about the film's star. She falls asleep before it ends. Dusty covers her with a blanket. He lets himself out quietly. Next day, he floats in the club pool. PJ finds his boss avoiding work again. Dusty describes a novel he is not writing. The warrior starts enjoying a rival tribe. He likes them but hates being seen with them. He also has feelings for someone far older. Dusty asks whether that warrior deserves shame. PJ tells him to swing away. He explains that some people love objects romantically. PJ loves a decommissioned battleship called the Alabama. They are ordered out of the pool. Candace arrives alone at the honky-tonk. Mitch greets her warmly. He introduces his girlfriend, B. She mentions her new snake is named Mitch. The room starts closing in on her. Candace decides coming here was a mistake. She looks up and finds Dusty there. He says he is showing up. He introduces himself to Mitch as her new man. He calls her unbelievable in front of them. He pulls her onto the dance floor. Mitch wonders what the new man meant. The crowd applauds when they finish. Candace thanks him for coming tonight. He says he had believed in so much nonsense. Now he knows what he wants. He tells her he wants her. He kisses her and she pulls away. She says she is not attracted to him. Dusty lists the film she chose. He lists the playlist she made him. He insists she kissed him back. She says it was a performance for Mitch. She only ever wanted a pickleball partner. Instead, she found a friend she truly loves. Dusty refuses the friendship outright. He says he needs no random pickleball friend. He invents a hot date and walks out. PJ tells him even cowboys get friend-zoned. At home, Chuck compliments his son's new look. Dusty will play the duel after all. He accepts without asking a single question. Dusty agrees it is bigger than pickleball. He refuses to let his legacy be discarded. Dusty tries to open up about his confusion. His father says it is getting late. At his checkup, the wrist is cleared. Dusty boasts that his father finally chose him. The doctor means the news about Neil. Neil is dead. He had climbed into his attic for boxes. A nesting owl attacked him up there. He escaped and fell. His wife's car killed him in the driveway. Dusty pretends he already knew all this. He confronts his father about the owl. Chuck calls the bird the best thing for him. Gene and Gary suggested Dusty, not his father. He was never his own father's choice. Dusty shuts himself away at home. Dusty opens the door to PJ anyway. The duel happens tomorrow and the club needs him. PJ admits he looks up to Dusty. He calls himself a cautionary tale. Then he tells the true Roddick story. He was supposed to hit hardest of all. Roddick hit harder. Every serve, every shot, he was better. In the crowd, his father could see it. The young Dusty realized he could not win. PJ derails the confession over a figure of speech. So he told the referee he needed the bathroom. He put his hand on the toilet. He broke his own wrist deliberately. He never slipped that day. Injury felt better to him than losing. He is here to raise the hammer signal. PJ tells him, be himself. Dusty no longer knows who that is. At the courts, Candace insists he was only a partner. The women spot him hiding behind his car. They watch him try to drive away crouched. The Buick smashes through the fence. Dusty came here to apologize. Candace already knows what for. He apologizes for what he said that night. He admits he has few real friends left. The Gail he had named was in fact hers. His showing up had meant everything to her. Dusty asks for her help with something. Duel day. He arrives dressed for pickleball. He tears her photo off the band board. He asks the whole club for its attention. He abandons his written speech about bravery. He admits pretending to be someone else for years. He says his father never respected him. He enters the duel for the pickleballers. Chuck calmly agrees his son is right. Dusty was only a backup. Chuck had been quietly hiring a real player. Their champion is Andy Roddick. Chuck is relieved his son defected first. Dusty panics. Nobody beats Roddick at tennis. Candace notes the charter loophole works both ways. Skip produces the charter from his fanny pack. Chuck offers his son a way out. Dusty refuses to back down. He wins the coin toss. Instead of serving, he chooses the court. He picks court 16. The charter lets the winner pick any court. Court 16 is a pickleball court. John McEnroe turns up in the crowd. The game runs to 11, win by 2. Dusty stares across the net at Roddick. Dusty takes an early point. Roddick works the game out almost immediately. Dusty is chasing every ball and losing. Roddick celebrates loudly over him. Dusty is being beaten badly. Everything he rebuilt is on this court. Skip screams at him to use the court. Dusty plays into the crowded southeast fence. Roddick has no room to swing. He aims into the cracked baseline corner. Roddick complains the courts are terrible. Then Dusty sends him toward the leaking fountain. Roddick slips and goes down hard. Dusty checks that he is unhurt. He tells his father to fix that puddle. The momentum has completely turned. Dusty keeps winning points on his court. Then he taunts Roddick with the kitchen jokes. It is match point. Dusty stops swinging hard. From the crowd, McEnroe sees the change. Dusty releases an old idea of himself. Roddick agrees to play the soft game. The two settle into a long dink duel. They wait for somebody to pop it up. Roddick finally lifts one too high. Dusty finishes it with a dink. The hardest hitter wins softly. The pickleballers have won their courts. Dusty consoles Roddick afterwards. He mentions Chuck paid him $15,000. Dusty credits her entirely. He finally learned not to swing so hard. Chuck has retreated to his office, upset. Dusty apologizes for taking the club's courts. Chuck is crying because his boy beat Roddick. The sport does not matter to him. Chuck says he is proud of his son. Dusty has waited a long time for that. He calls it their most fun together ever. Finally, the new pickleball courts stand finished. Dusty greets the president of pickleball operations. He promotes PJ to vice president. Dusty gives his best friend a gift. PJ unwraps a photograph of his beloved ship. Chuck now plays pickleball himself. He has just beaten Skip 11-0. Skip demands to be called his real name. Chuck immediately calls him Piggy again. Candace drew their own friends in round 1. She built the bracket herself. She asks whether the hammer is ready. Dusty says the hammer is dead. Candace offers a new name. He refuses to be called The Dink. She calls him The Dink now. The new nickname has already stuck.